What's going on, everybody in Facebook and YouTube land? Man, we got a doozy for you guys tonight. We got several hammers that are going to be talking fishing here in just a little bit. What we need for you guys is to drop some comments here about some questions that you would like to have answered by the average Joes that are on my show here. I'm not saying that we can't catch them or they can't catch them. We're going to be talking fishing with people just like you and I tonight. And that's going to be a big deal. First and foremost, what I'd like for you guys to do is, if you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you guys go over to Yolotech's either Facebook page or their Instagram page. The latest thing that they posted on there, I was actually chosen out of one of 6 videos, I think, for the video of the year. And to vote for me, the only thing you have to do is go in the comment section of the Facebook post or the Instagram post that has my mug on there and comment Tyler Waller number 14. I would appreciate it. Best I can figure, I got about a 20 vote lead on Facebook, but I'm getting throttled on Instagram. But anyway, with enough of that, let's get everybody in here on the deal. So what's up, guys? First and foremost, I'm going to have some people jumping in and jumping out. Again, golly, Mark, dude, like, you've been on the sauce this morning or today or what?
Yeah.
Oh, we got Nate Witt in the house. I'm gonna bring him in there. And Nate. So first and foremost, give everybody just a little bit of an opportunity to say a little bit about themselves. If you guys don't know me, you should by now. My name is Tyler Waller. I'm the creator and owner of OnAnotherLine here. This is something we've never done before in the past, and that is getting some of my buddies and people that I've met through the industry, average Joes like you and me, to answer some of your questions this evening. So anything that you'd like to have answered, drop a comment. We have some young guns on here as well as some people that whip my rear end on a weekly basis. So there's some great stuff here. But again, my name is Tyler Waller. We'll pass it over to Nicholas Boggs and give him an opportunity to tell a little bit about himself and what he's fishing.
All right. So I'm a high school angler. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I fished the Kentucky Bass Nation High School, and I fished the Kentucky Bass Nation as a co-angler. Fishing as a co-angler is a really good experience for any high school kid because you learn so much from your boaters. And I try to fish. Well, my dad takes me to the Bass High School Opens, and they're a really good experience. And just try to get as much experience and time on the water as I can as a high school angler.
Yeah, I get it. So, all right. So we have our very first question coming in from Casey Kelly, and this question is for Nate. He says, why does Abu Garcia suck so much?
He's just mad because he can't beat me.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Yeah. So anyway, Nicholas, I'm glad to have you on your show. Could keep on keeping on, and we'll get back to you. Next, I'm gonna pass over to Mark Hickey, man. So give us a little bit of rundown about what you do and maybe what you're fishing this year.
All right, so I'm Mark Hickey from the Northern Kentucky area. I'm over here in Covington. Not sure where you guys that's at, but I fish a lot of the mountain. Fish some of the Buckeye division. Probably gonna be the same this in an HVAC company. So right now is a really busy time for me. Haven't been on the water much yet this year, but got a new Phoenix 721 coming in here in the next week or so, and I'm excited to get that in and get it all set up and get rolling on that, and just excited to get out there,
Nice, man. Yeah, congratulations on a new bird. So apparently I commented this. I guess Josh is on here, but he says Hickey showing off the guns tonight. You guys have the? Do you have your tickets to the gun show?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, you're getting roasted. Casey Kelly says his Mark App can still carry for those 2 guns. All right. Anyway, it passes it on down to Nate Witt, man. So if you want to give us a little spiel about yourself, and then last but not least, we'll get Brandon Buckner, and then we'll get to answer some questions.
my name's Nate Witt. I'm from the Akron, Kentucky area, tri-state area. This year I'm going to be fishing the local club, Pedro Club, some. Going to try to fish with the Kentucky Bass Nation, as well as be fishing the Bass Southern Open on Norman in September. So that's my plans, anyways.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, so Nate and I have been working together through the tackle box for a while. So last but not least, Brandon Buckner, who is a huge part of Lewis County Lunkers, but I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, so my name's Brandon Buckner. Me and some of my family, we decided to start our own little club last year. It's actually went pretty good. We mainly fished the Grayson, Cave, Gatesville, mainly those 3 lakes. But we've been growing a little bit through the year, and this year we already have just as many, if not more, members than we did last year. And hopefully we can grow on, have a little more than that. And I think I'm going to try to fish the Grayson this year as well. Try to do good and maybe end up being able to go to Cumberland. So,
yeah, man.
Hopefully that works
awesome,
out.
Dude. Yeah, well, thanks for joining me on the show tonight, guys. Again, I may have some people join in and out. I'm just sending to people, trying to figure out what's going on. But so we got a few people, about 22 people online right now. And again, if you guys are just not joining us, we're just doing something a little different today, and we're just going to try to get some regular Joes like you and I on here talking and answering fishing. But again, one thing I cannot tell you guys this enough. If you guys don't care to go over to the Yola Tech website or their Facebook page, or their Instagram, and vote for me, Tyler Waller, number 14. I would greatly appreciate it. So we don't have any questions right now, so I'm going to throw out the first one. Pretty much anybody that's ever been on my show has to answer the same question, and that is that there's 2 baits on the planet. 1, you never leave home without, and 2, what's a bait that you think is overrated? So we'll just go down the line. So Nick, what do you think? You got a bait you'll never leave home without, and a bait that you think is overrated.
Well, one bait that I'll never leave home without is a half-ounce Secret Lures HD flipping jig in either green pumpkin or black and blue. It's just put it in the right places, it'll catch fish everywhere. And a bait that's overrated, probably, I think, would be Alabama rig, maybe.
I dig it. So what do you think, Mark?
I didn't hear a word he said.
No. So my question to you is, one bait you never leave home without, and another bait that you think is overrated.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I do all my damage throughout the year, 90% of my fish. And the guys that know me will be like, that's so true. The half-ounce black and blue jig. That's my go-to. Now, the bait that I'm just like, I pick up off my deck and I start winging it, and 3 casts later, I'm like, why in the hell am I doing this? I just put it down. It's a freaking crankbait. I cannot throw a crankbait. For some reason, I just cannot stand to throw a crankbait. That's not.
Yeah, so I think you might be the only person on the planet that I've ever heard say that.
Right? I'm telling you, and everybody else, I don't throw a crank. I'm like, literally, I pick it off my deck and I throw it about 4 or 5 times. And I'm like, this is stupid. Why am I doing this? And I put it down.
Yeah, well, all right. So I get it. So Nate, same question to you. One bait you never leave home without. One bait you think's overrated.
I'd probably go to the jig. I'm going to throw a half-ounce tackle box football head jig. Throw that about everywhere I go. Usually green pumpkin or black and blue. I don't know. I throw about every bait, so I don't really think anything's overrated. But probably go to the Alabama rig. I can go places and catch fish on other baits where everybody's like, you got to throw an Alabama rig here to catch fish. But some people like it, some people don't.
Yeah, I get that. So Brandon, what's your 2 baits? One you'll never leave home without, and one that you think's overrated.
Eat it. Well, depending on the time of year, but I would say, sound funny, but I want to say the fluke in the springtime is my number 1 go-to bait. And summer and fall months, I always go to the wacky rig. I always go watermelon red flake. That's just personal preference. And I have never had any luck with whopper plopper. That is mine. I just can't do it. Or with the crank, throw it 3 or 4 times, I'm done. Put her down. But that's just late. I have no luck.
Yeah, so to answer that question for myself, I'm with you on the ploppers. Like I think it's one of the most overrated baits, because I've not had any luck with it. I watch the pros and they throw it and they smash fish. And let's face it, they're probably fishing a little different location than we are around here. But a bait that I'll never leave home without is definitely going to be a jig for sure. But I think, I'm going to go opposite of Mark and say that like a KVD 1.5 is my absolute go-to bait. I throw it more often than not, and the fish just eat it. All right, first question coming in from Corey Weaver. What do you consider the most important part of preparation for a tournament is new water versus familiar water? So we'll go ahead and start with you, Nicholas. You guys can see those questions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, Nicholas.
Well, for me, the most important part will be like knowing where we're going and what the water's like and what time of year and everything like that to know what to have ready is probably the most important thing for me.
All right, so that's a good answer. So, Mark, what do you got?
As far as preparation goes, I just like to, obviously do your research at home, get your mindset right first off before you even get down. Because if you're not in the right mindset, leave the house, you're not going to have a good practice or a good practice. So first thing is get your mindset right, get dialed in on kind of what's going on, whether it be research on a computer, yada yada. We have all kinds of resources now to use right at our fingertips. So obviously research at home and get your mindset right before you even leave the house. Get down there. And as far as deleting water and new water versus water, obviously the water you've had time on. Okay, so you need to go spend more time on that new water and kind of get some time, whether it's graphing around for 2, 3, 4 hours, and kind of get yourself familiar with that. That way you got some milk runs to run over there if the wheels fall off and you're like, you know what, let's just go for breakfast. So that's my 2 cents. I'm no pro by no means. I just kind of do what I do, and sometimes it works and sometimes it don't.
Yeah, I understand that too, man. So next to you, Nate.
With new waters, I'm probably going to go on Google Earth, see if there's any pictures of low water conditions on those lakes. Go look at old maps, try to find state maps where they put brush piles and stuff like that in there. Try to mark those on my graph before I go to the lake. Once I get down there, I'm going to try to scan those areas with the graph and actually try to figure out exactly where those brush piles start, water depths, and all that. That's usually what I do before I go to a new body of water. Maybe go online and check fishing reports from that lake and different things like that. Try to see if they say baits or stuff to try to start out with.
I can dig that. And Brandon, last.
But yeah, as far as the old water, what you've already, the familiar waters. I mean, you learn something new every time you're on the water. Seems like to me. I'm no pro by no means either, but I just enjoy fishing, and I mean, where most of your brush piles are, and your rocks. I mean, but you just got to go where the fish are, depending on the time of year, and just learn where they go and learn their routes. As far as new water, I mean, you got to try to use your graph, try to find them on your graphs best you can, and mark them. Try to pre-fish if you can, if possible. I mean, some places might be too far to make it down there a couple times, but I mean, definitely new water. I'm gonna graph around a little bit before I start fishing.
Yeah, I don't know what you boys are talking about graphs. I mean, I'm talking like graphs like I ain't got none. Next question here from Chris Morrow. He said, "Why do we think collar is so important in a bait if they can't see collar?" Some say. We'll just start back with Brandon and go the opposite way this time. So, what do you think, Brandon?
I truly think that the color. I mean, I don't know. I've just always been a watermelon. I've always been anything green, pumpkin seed. I mean, I like green, but I don't know. And even in the jigs, it just looks more natural with the green and the browns. I mean,
yeah, I can dig that. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm a collar guy. I change collars all the time. So what's your thoughts on that, Nate?
Usually, if it's a muddier conditions, I'm gonna try to go with something bright red, orange. It's just something I feel it's gonna catch fish, like maybe a chartreuse spinnerbait with an orange and a chartreuse blade on it. It's just a confidence thing, I think. I still think they can see certain shades of colors
Right.
better than others. So
Yeah, I dig that. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I think I think they can see a little bit of color, like he said, maybe shades of colors or like the depth of color. Like say if it's real bright, maybe the UV shines out better or something in different colors of them. But and dirtier ones, they like pretty bright where they can pick it out or something like that, or something that flashes or thumps pretty with the vibration. So
Yeah, I'm kind of down in that situation there too. Is like I don't know if they can see color or not, to be honest with you, but I do throw a lot of brighter stuff in muddier water, and I think they can obviously feel vibration more than they can see color with their lateral line and stuff. So I think the wiggle of crankbaits or like a chatterbait or something that's going to get their attention is going to have a lot more effectiveness of catching a fish. So what do you think, Nick?
Well, I usually just
what do you want?
go with the match the hatch rule and kind of what you got confidence in and kind of go from there. But
Spider-Man?
I don't get too focused in on colors. I'm not one to think like if a fish runs up to a jig, if it don't have 4 strains of orange with 5 strains of green pumpkin, that he's going to turn around and turn away from it. I think as long as it's something close, that it ain't going to matter too much.
Yeah, I can dig that too. So Richard McGuire says, "No, they love red and Cumberland in the spring." That RC 55 is pretty fire down there. I hear the old Spro. First and foremost, guys, we got a few people on here. Before you answer any more questions, I want to take a second to give you guys a little information about the Tackle Box Open House that's coming up here very soon. It is going to be the 13th and 14th, which is not this weekend coming up, but the week after that. The open house is still the same dates, the 13th and 14th, still the same time, still the same hours. However, if you don't feel comfortable coming out and being a part of that crowd or whatever, Greg and Debbie at the Tackle Box have extended the sales for the entire week after that, so you can go there and get the same sales. Last week I screwed up and told everybody that they were doing the line spooling. This year they're not doing that. Just for the simple fact is that drew a huge crowd, and the fact of the matter is like there wasn't a whole lot of there's a lot of overhead there, not a whole lot of profit margin. So, and it's not all about profits, but it is about keeping people safe. So they're not doing the line spooling this year, but I will be there the 13th and 14th, both days, all day. If you guys want to come hang out, definitely do so. Nate, you going to be there?
yeah, I'll be there on Saturday.
I know Eric's going to be there. Obviously, Greg Drown, Drew from Shimano will be there. There's always a lot of stuff going on there. Again, that's the 13th and 14th. If you guys want to come out and see us, hang out, definitely do that. But the sales, and don't quote me on this, but it's usually 10% marked down 10% on all rods and stuff because they're not already previously marked down. They got some of the best deals on reels that you're going to find. Matter of fact, they are selling the Corrado K, the Shimano Corrado K right now for a lower price than I can even tell you about. So let's see here. Katie Harrison, my youngest daughter Laura says, "Hi Tyler, my birthday is tomorrow." So, Laura, happy birthday to you. Hope you have a lot of fun. What are you going to be like 38 tomorrow or something?
No, it's just
Jeff Wallace, so they have the booger baits with JB's fish sauce. Man, I tell you what, here's what I'll do for you. I'll have some JB's fish sauce there, some sample bottles. If you want to come up, hang out with us, I'll give you some of it. I can't speak for booger baits. I doubt they'll have them in stock. You'll probably have to talk to Chris Malone on that deal, though. I could be wrong. Nate, you could speak to that. I don't think you guys have them in stock yet, do you?
No, we don't have them in there yet.
All right, so we don't have any more questions, so I'm going to throw out one myself here. if I don't have any, so I have 6-inch hummingbirds. I've been a hummingbird guy for a long time. Kyle's had hummingbirds on his boats. He's had Lowrance. I haven't had any, any experience with like live target or the active target stuff or anything that's coming out new, or even the Garmin live scope and things. But if you were to choose one company for electronics, who would they be and why? All right, so hold on a second. I'm gonna bring Josh Bryant's in the house. There he is, back in the what's up? So, all right. So anyway, the question is, if you were going to deck out a boat, what company electronics would you go with? Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
If I was going to deck out a boat with one brand of electronics, I would go with the Humminbird, just because I haven't had experience with their Mega 360, but I think it would be the most efficient thing for the front of your boat, and then I think they have the clear side and down.
Gotcha. Mark, what are you getting on your new boat?
You know what? You can these days you can pretty much not go wrong with any of them, but basically a personal preference. I like Lorraine. I think it's just a lot easier to navigate. They make it really stuff with. Whereas like Humminbird, it's just a couple to push. That's right. But there again, all of them have something for everybody nowadays. They're all pretty well rounded nowadays. They're all could be. So you can't really go wrong with any of them out there now. But basically, like I said, I went with Lorraine. That's what I'm used to, and I do like some of the bird stuff, like the 360. I got 360 up front, so different things that I like about the different. For the most part, they're all pretty. So.
I got you. So Josh is out of a boat right now. He's in the process of looking for a boat. But if you were going to pick if you're gonna pick an electronics company, what would it be?
I don't know. Like I'm almost leaning towards like Lowrance back again, because I don't like I've had Lowrance, had all the HDSs, I've run the carbons and stuff, old boat, and I just feel like they were legit. Like, I love them, like most people did. Never had nothing as far as that. The active target is new. I've not seen it, and I have seen live boats and stuff. So, that live scope is legit, and then 360, I've used that before. Air boat, and it's pretty cool too. So that's something kind of like Mark said, personal preference. I think Lowrance is pretty easy to use as far as the setting, but I'm familiar with it also. So I think that's be part of it.
I get it. So Nate, I know what Nate's going to choose, and because he's got like a 40-inch flat screen on his boat. Humminbird Solix, which I don't know. I'm one of those deals where I'm like super like jealous. I'm not afraid to tell you.
There you go.
Well, so I'm embarrassed. Yeah, he out of here.
Yeah.
But Nate actually has a 15-inch Solix on his boat. I know for sure. He actually won money. I think. Don't quote me on this because I don't want to put words in his mouth. So he's coming back. I'll ask him. But I'm pretty sure he won some money on the fantasy fishing several years ago, and that's how he afforded to buy the Solix 15. But I don't know if you can hear me, Nate. I think I threw it out there, but you won some money fantasy fishing, right? And ended up getting the 15.
Yeah, me and Dad were in on the FLW fantasy fishing and ended up winning one of the tournaments, which gave us $5,000. So we put that money towards the Solix 15, and it's probably been the best buy I've ever bought. So
that's awesome. So Brandon, what would you go with?
I've actually got two Lowrance 9 inches on my, and personally, I love them. not only because they're easier to use, but I just feel like they're quick getting in market weight point. I mean, I've never personally had a hummingbird. I've played with them at, Cabela's and Bass Pro, and it just seems a lot harder to get in there with. So I just went Lowrance, and I guess that's just my personal preference.
No, everybody. That's the thing, man. I'm asking a question there. It's like, which one of your kids do you like best? Like, you probably know, but it's everybody's deal. So, let's see. Jeff Wallace says, if you're going to buy a power pole, it'd be power pole or Talon. Just buying one. So you're only buying one of each, not like one brand. Just quick through. What would you get, Nick?
I'd probably go with the power poles because I've heard some bad things about Talons, how the stuff will mess up on them and stuff, and it just seems like power poles are more reliable.
Gotcha. What do you think, Mark?
I'll go with power pole. Talon, have you ever felt the Talon, like picked one up off the ground? They're like double the weight of a power pole. So that's the only reason I would go with a power pole. I don't know if I know anybody that has Talons on theirs. Not any of my guys, anyways. But power pole, they're pretty durable. They're lightweight. They do the job. They hold good. So
I wonder if the Raptor will be a player.
I don't know. I don't. They look dead on the power pole.
Yeah, they're the same thing, and that's the deal. Like the copyright or the patent ran out or whatever on the power pole. So our Minn Kota is jumping in on that deal.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was wondering. I was wondering who was going to be next to the power pole game and it was them obviously. But I would look for. I was actually talking about this today. I was with a buddy of mine. I look for Lowrance to make moves as far as a power pole or something of that nature in the next couple years. I'd say we'll see it, and they'll probably put out like a total boat package, like a two power poles and two lives, and a ghost trolling motor. And I think all of them are wanting to lean towards having total boat control through one company, obviously. So
yeah, so Minn Kota does have that right now, and I'm sure Lowrance does it too. They actually call it the One Boat Network, which comes, and that's I don't know. I think you're right though. So what do you think, Nate? Hold on a second, Nate. I think you're muted. Hold on a second. I got you. Go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
I like power poles. I've got a couple buddies that's got the Talons. And it seems like if you're going under bridges or something like that, you have to actually get back there and pull a pin to lay the Talons down, where power poles, you can just drop them down lower and go under a bridge or whatever you have to do. So I think power poles are the way to go.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't own either. So I do know that I see a lot of people in the comments saying that power poles are weighing less, and they do. Matter of fact, it's a lot. There's a substantial weight difference in the power poles.
Big. I was at the shop the other day, and I was just hanging out, real guys. And I went back, and Colton said, "Here, I need you to help me carry these power poles over here to this boat." And I picked one up. I was like, "Man, that thing is lighter than can be." And I remember picking up a Talon about a year or so ago, and I need 3 people to pick this damn thing up. Crazy.
Yeah, no, I get it. So, Josh, you're going to deck one out. What would it be?
Well, I've only ran the power poles and the ease of use of them. Obviously, getting them in a garage for my boat in the outbuilding in the wintertime. I can be in the truck and just use the remote, lower them down, get them right in instead of flipping them. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I've never used Talons at all, so I can't really say anything against them. But definitely the power poles are easy, man. They're just simple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
pretty simple.
Yeah. So what do you think, Brandon?
If I could afford either one,
hey, I'm right there with you.
Right. I mean, not only for the weight difference, like everybody else is saying, because I was looking at them for a while, maybe just trying to get one and then maybe another one next year. but there's a lot of differences between them. I mean, I think just a power pole would be the way to go. I mean, money wise and just all around. I mean, Talon might be a little cheaper depending on where you get them, but in the end, I think it'd be worth it to get the power pole.
Yeah, for sure. So here's a question from Mark Hickey. Eric Moore says, question from Mark Hickey, does steroids help with stronger hook sets?
Yeah, Eric, it does. You got to try it. I was hoping he was going to jump on here. I sent him the link. I said, jump on.
Hop on it. Hop on. We missed a question up here. I got a couple of them. First off, Richard McGuire says, do you think tournaments are going to go back to just depth finders, eliminate all these video game electronics? If anybody, just feel free to jump in there.
No, there's no way. It'll never go back to eliminate fish finders or anything like that. And the reason being, everybody's got access to the same exact stuff, so it'll never go back.
But that's kind of a relative term, though. Like everybody has the ability to buy them, but do you have the liquid to buy them? I don't know. Like, me, I don't make a ton of money. I'm a school teacher, and that's my priority. And it's my prerogative. I had the opportunity to go out and start a business like you do and everybody else, but for me, like, I look at, like, if I were to set up a boat how I want to have it set up, just the electronics, the trolling motor, and the power poles or whatever I put in there would be way more than I paid for my boat. Like, I paid $20 grand for my boat a couple years ago, and we're gonna have, with 2 graphs, you're up to $5,500 at that point. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's the electronics, obviously, they help. There's just no doubt about it that they help in some way, shape, or form. Even if you don't know how to read them, they help a little bit. Okay, I'm not the best at reading them by no means. I'm getting better. Last year taught me a lot about them, and but no, it'll never go back to just depth finders. No, not a chance.
I don't think so either. The money is too great there. You know what I mean? Because the companies, the players there in the electronics deal, I'm sure there's kickbacks happening. But the thing about it is, it's so much about being able to have the ability to catch fish. And even for me, like, and I'm with them when he's talking about, like, there was a guy that went viral this summer talking about how, like, people that have these electronics have an advantage over people, which I agree with that to an extent, but like you said a second ago, Mark, everybody has the ability to do, to spend the money and buy the stuff. Is there an advantage to having really high-end electronics? Absolutely, 100%. Yes, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you can find the fish all you want and see them on your graph and just have them down there, and you got to catch them. I don't know how many schools of fish I've stopped on. I'm like, dude, they're stacked. And like, I'd start fishing them, fish them. No bites, crickets. So, and where another guy could pull in there back, oh yeah, they're stacked, and he get up there and know how to make them fire up. Well, there's your difference right there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. So ability and electronics are, they do have a deal there. So finding a fish and catching them is 2 different things, in my opinion. All right, so we got another question here from Eric Davidson. Eric says, if you had to choose one brand for just fishing their plastics, who would it be? Go ahead, Nick.
If it was me, I'd either pick Zoom or Strike King, just because they've got a big variety of a lot of baits I like to throw.
Yep. Mark?
Man, I don't know. I like a lot of different things. Berkeley stuff is growing on me, but the Rage Crawls probably would be my top, I would say.
Yeah. Let's see here. I got you unmuted, Nate. What do you think?
I'm probably gonna go with NetBait first, and then follow that up with Zoom. I like their flukes and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I get that. So both of those you mentioned, I'm digging. So what do you think, Josh?
I'd say definitely like Rapala, man. They got just such a broad band of.
We're talking about rubber baits, dude.
Oh well, Gary, my y'all motto, man. Cincos. Is there any other bait besides that one? I mean, that's like your.
We know
you throw it in a mud puddle and catch a fish. So I'm gonna have to go with y'all motto. If we're soft plastic.
Yeah.
But it didn't say. It just said one brand. So I mean, I guess if you want to do but it does say plastics, I guess. So.
Come on, Josh. I know you went to Rock Hill, but give me a break, bro.
Well, I'm rusty, man. I ain't done nothing forever. COVID killed my brain cells. That's what.
Hey, I went live last week with COVID. I had a special guest on here, and it was COVID. So
yeah.
By the way, it was not fun. Anyway,
it's not fun. So I don't care what anybody says. COVID was not fun. I'm still. And knee surgery's not fun either. So
yeah, I would say no. What do you think, Brandon? One plastic. What would it be? Company plastic.
I'm probably gonna say Zoom. I mean, I do like Gambler awful lot though. I like Gambler for their worms, their wacky worms. I mean, their Cincos, but probably still pick Zoom over Gambler. That's
a super hard question for me. I think just for the sake of saying that, I would say Strike King because they have so much to offer. But if you go into the tackle box and can't find a Zoom bait that they offer that you can catch fish on or you can't catch fish on, I would probably buy it all from you. I've fished Zoom worms since I've been a kid, man. I'm telling you, back when I was a kid, I was walking around strip mine ponds throwing like a 4-inch red shad U-tail with a 3/32 ounce weight with a 3/0 offset shank worm hook, and just absolutely making bass have bad days. So I've fished Zoom all my life. But if I was just going to choose one, definitely Strike. Yeah. We got a lot of people in the comments, a lot of people saying Zoom. So
back when I was like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11, kind of all the way through my teens, tequila my go-to. Farm pond, just tequila sunrise was it. And now I even I guess it's just transition to there. There's another company that kind of came out of nowhere, like just Guggen Baits. They just kind of took the industry by storm and boom, just dropped the hammer on it, and now there's Guggen everywhere. So
yeah, so I don't know a ton about the company. I know some people that are in the know, and the reason Guggen Baits blew up, one is because of their YouTube following. They have millions of followers, but two, the same guy that designs the Rage stuff for Strike King designs Guggen Baits.
Yeah, they have the same action like the Rage. Some of the stuff is at the same action, pretty much.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people, like I said on the comments. Fred Redfern says we've all fished Zoom since we were kids, 100%. Michael Boggs says Strike King. Pulling lips on YouTube says sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone. I believe that 100%. Like, I will say that I think lures and soft plastics catch more fish or catch more fishermen than they do fish. Like, dude, that looks great. I'll buy like 6 bags of them and then throw them on a boat, and then like 5 years later I find them and they're like moldy because I never even touched them.
Right.
Let's see. Andy Lovejoy said, for how many casts is fish sauce or similar track to go forward before you need to reapply? So we got 2 people on here. I can speak for JV's Fish Sauce, and we'll get Nate on here, who is he fishes a brand we shall not name. But anyway, so JV's Fish Sauce, if you're going to use it, I marinate some of my baits in it, so I'll spray some of it in the bag. It's going to soak up a lot more. But with JV's Fish Sauce, it's oil-based, so you don't have to reapply a ton. Maybe once every 50, 60 casts or longer than that. There's been times where I've fished a tournament and then went back out the following tournament, and my baits still smell like the garlic that I was using. So,
well, I know what Nate's going to say, so we'll just say this, that the fish sauce, JV's Fish Sauce, will outlast the lure you're casting. How about that?
Oh, man.
It'll tear up before you got to reapply, unlike the other stuff that he throws.
Yeah, so
Gotta go
Nate,
backwards on it.
yeah, you're unmuted there, Nate. So go ahead and mention the company that you fish for. I would say, but I can't even remember. What is it? Yeah, what is this stuff called?
We got him so in shock, Tyler. He can't even talk.
Let's see. So Richard McGuire says Guggen's too expensive. Chris Morrow says if you have one day to catch the biggest bag and win $10,000, what lake would you pick? Any lake in the U.S. Nicholas, what do you got?
I'd probably say
Biggest
Toledo
bag
Bend.
won 10 grand.
Toledo Bend. I got it. So yeah, if you like, I guess. So I'm taking this question is pick a lake that you think you could catch the biggest bag on. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Chris. But that's what way that I'm taking it. So I don't know, man. That'd be a tough one. I think everybody has to go with that known factor, like Lake Fork, something like that. What do you think, Mark? Where would you go if you had to catch the biggest bag you could possibly catch?
Man, I'd have to go with St. Clair, man. There ain't nothing like catching them footballs up there, them brownfish. Just, man, I'm telling you. That or Chicks, Lake Chick. So,
Yeah.
I don't. It's hard to beat St. Clair. I mean, you can catch some stud brownfish in there.
Oh, hammer, dude! So when I started fishing St. Clair, started fishing it, not knowing anything about it, not knowing a lot about smallmouth fishing, to be honest with you, but it's taught me a lot. But I do know if you don't have 25-pound plus, you're not even sniffing a check on Lake St. Clair.
Exactly.
That's legit. I think Josh would probably say the same thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm going up there. I'm going up there and throw some wacky rigs and.
Man, I don't. So just a quick thing before we get to Brandon ask his question. Lake St. Clair is a fickle beast, boys. You can go there in March, April, May, June, and absolutely slaughter some fish. I'm talking every cast, catch 100 a day. When you get into July, August, September, but it is almost like you got to have freaking dynamite to catch them.
Yep.
Crazy. It's crazy. What do you think, Brandon? If you had to choose one lake to go to catch the biggest stack you could possibly do, what would it be? I'll be having some technical difficulties. Richard McGuire says Erie. Jacob Crapu says Sam Rayburn. Fred says the Ohio River.
Said no one ever.
Yeah.
How about that bag that was caught in Sam Rayburn over the weekend?
37, 38 pounds, something like that.
14-pound fucking kicker.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. That's what dreams are made out of. But wasn't there one down in Toledo Bend or somewhere not too long ago? It was over 40, like 43 pounds.
Yeah, same guy had it.
The same guy?
Yeah, he had it was stupid what he had like a 2-day total. It was crazy.
Oh, so that was the same tournament.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Chick turned out a 50-pound bag last year.
Yeah. That place gets now, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I mean I can't say much because I'm one of those out of towners that travel down there.
Me too. I love it down there, but
it gets absolutely smacked, and with reason. But I don't know if you guys watched it or not. I'm sure you guys did. I think it was FLW was down there. Might have been Elite Series. I think it was actually the Elite Series that was down there. But they were at their average tournament was like 15 pounds a day or something. It really shocked me.
Yeah,
But they were in there. They were in there in July though, so you got August. You got to take that into consideration too.
Yeah.
Richard McGuire says Okeechobee in spring. Jeff says, "What do y'all think? Do you guys think Chick is better than Gunnersville?"
Different times of year.
Certain times of year, I say yes. I've only been to Gunnersville once, so take that for what it's worth. But I think, in my opinion, you have more of a chance to catch a hammer in Chick, especially in the springtime.
Yes.
but the thing about it is that's all the same river system, right? We're all still talking about the Tennessee River, so they grow some studs down there. Jason Wittig says Chickamauga, so we got that. All right, so we're at about 45 minutes, guys. I'll ask you guys a couple more questions. If you guys want to hear, if you want to ask a question, drop them in the comments. We'll try to get them answered for you. First and foremost, again, if you guys are just now joining and you haven't heard my spiel already, if you don't care, go over to the Facebook page of YOLOTech. That's YOLOTEK. You can search that on Instagram or Facebook. The latest post they've had on there is myself and 5 other people. Actually, I think there's 4 other people. I think one guy has 2 videos on there. But it is for the YOLOTech Video of the Year, and I have the opportunity to win about $750 worth of their year, which would make me one happy camper. So if you haven't already done it, you can go over there to their Facebook page or their Instagram page and check it out. You'll see my ugly mug on there. Only thing you got to do is comment Tyler Waller, or just put number 14 on there. I think would work as well. Help me out, share it out. I'd appreciate it. So here's what we'll do. We'll end this night with one question to end all questions.
Oh boy.
If you could fish with any fisherman on the planet, dead or alive,
Oh man.
and so let's do this. Let's not make it so hard, because we'd all want to fish with that one family member one more time. It's not alive. Let's just say a pro angler or somebody in the pro angling world. If you could fish with one person one time, dead or alive, who would it be? Nick, what do you got?
I'd probably go with Gerald Swindle one day. He's just one of my favorite pros, and I really enjoy watching.
Yeah, I can dig that. What do you think, Mark? Who would you fish with?
I think the iPad at night is. I want to say Jacob Wheeler so bad, but it's gonna have to be Hank Parker. I was about 8 or 10 watching this tournament and his show and all that, and watching my dad. That was a state fisherman. So it'd probably have to be him. I'd love to, like I said, I'd love to say Jacob Wheeler, but it'd probably have to be Hank Parker just because of that.
Yeah, I get that. So let me unmute Nate here. So what would you do, Nate? Who would you fish with?
I'd go with Bill Dance. I've watched him ever since I was little with my uncle and my dad. And I just like to get there in that private pond he's always in.
Yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about. What do you think? Who would you fish with, Josh?
Well, if I wanted a comedy factor, I'm like Nick. I would take G-Man. That dude is hilarious. But I would probably have to go with the GOAT, dude, and have Van Dam. I mean, he's been a stick for so many years, I mean, I don't know. But G-Man is hilarious. Like, I was listening to one of G-Man's videos the other day, and Tiffany's over there, and she's like, my God, who is that? And I was telling her who it was, and she was just cracking up. But, yeah, I mean, for comedy factor, just to have a good time, it depends on what it was. If I was going to have a good time, probably G-Man. But if I wanted to learn, I'd probably go with Van Dam. Just because he's a stick, dude. I mean, he's been in the game too long not to know what he's doing.
Oh, he's a hammer.
Yeah, for sure. So we got several people on here. We got KVD, Richard Barnes says KVD. We have Michael Balk says Andy Morgan. I can dig that. Wittig says the smallmouth capital or smallmouth man of the world, Billy Westmoreland. Who would you fish with, Brandon?
I'd probably say.
Hi, girl.
I'd say he could teach a man a lot of stuff. I mean, he can always find out where they are. He can 99% of the time catch them. I mean, he's not a champion for no reason. I mean, he always does good no matter where he's at.
Yeah. So who'd you say there? You cut out on me on the beginning.
Jacob Wheeler.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. So I think, the young guns, you got him and Jordan Lee that just absolutely, I think they're the next KVDs of the circuits, no doubt. I don't know, man. It's a tough question for me as far as who I would choose to fish with. I don't know. Like, I guess, I mean, the obvious answer here is probably, KVD or G-Man, just for the comedy factor of it. I'm really jealous of my buddy Shay Baker, who was a photographer for BASS for a long time. He's created a relationship with a ton of these pro anglers, and knows them on a first name basis and all that stuff. But there's a video on GoPro's actual YouTube video or YouTube channel that he created with G-Man. It is hilarious. You have to go check that out when you guys get on there. Tom Mann, I can dig that one there. Brandon Cobb, Holden Lips's Wheeler. I get it. So I saw that Wheeler's doing this big giveaway, I think. And dude, like, I love it that this dude's doing this stuff, but there's so many scam artists out there. He already posted a post saying that somebody's trying to scam people for their information. Like, it's crazy to me. Another person that, I don't know who I would fish with. That's a super tough question. I asked a tough question there. And I think that, I don't know who I would fish with. So let's see here. We got KVD catches them north and south, 100%.
Technically and tactfully efficient.
Yeah, he's talking about Wheeler, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I got a question for you.
All right.
What's one bait that you know it's not going to work, but you always try?
Blobber, blobber.
Yeah. So let's see. One bait that I know is not going to work, but I always try.
Man, I know. I got to catch it.
Man, for me, it is an absolute giant swim bait. 6-inch plus. Like, I just got into throwing this past year. This actual at the tackle box in the house, I'm actually going to buy a rod to throw some on.
Yeah.
But I throw a 6-inch swim bait thinking that I'm going to get my arm absolutely ripped off. But I've caught one fish on a 6-inch swim bait, and it was about an 8-inch fish.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Nick, what would you do? One fish that you throw that you think will work but never does.
Well, probably the same as you with the big swim bait. The big swim baits are about the size of what the fish are around here.
Yeah, I can dig that too. So let me unmute Nate. So what do you got, Nate?
Carolina rig. I hate throwing that thing.
Really?
I know it catches fish, but I can't throw one.
Yeah. So I was the same way, man.
Swim bait.
Yeah. So like I know you're catching them this year on that thing, and I'm down to throw them. Like I know like Bait Man and all those guys, they throw those big swim baits and catch them. And I know for the simple fact is that especially in the springtime when there's fish, or the late fall, the fish are going to exert as little effort as possible to get the biggest meal that they can. So that's why I throw it. I don't know if that's legit or not, but I think that's why I throw it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brandon?
On what, the big swim bait? Y'all was cutting up real bad there.
So no, if you one bait that you throw that doesn't really work, but you keep throwing it anyway.
Oh, well, shoot. I like the deep runner crankbait, but I never hardly do any good on it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I throw a DT6 at every tournament I go to, or I'm sorry, not a DT6, a 6XD. I throw a DT6 as well, but I've been a big fan of a big crankbait lately. But the swim bait is what I don't get. Chris Morris says underspin for them, no luck. They work great in southern regions. That would be the big swim bait, I'd say.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's what's so cool about fishing, guys. Like what I dig, you guys don't probably. Like I'm pouring my own jigs now, and I'm pouring my own jigs just for the simple fact that I'm adding wire weed guards to them.
Nice.
I saw a guy do this thing, and I was like, dude, why have I never thought of that? So I actually bought a do-it mold, and I actually took some. It's actually here because I just did it. High temp RTV silicone, and siliconed over where the little plugs go for the actual fiber weed guard, and I'm just laying these these wire weed guards in there. I think they look a lot better. The wire's a lot stiffer than those things. And I don't know if you guys saw it the other night, but G-Man was talking about how he's getting his jigs hung up a lot, and that's because those fiber weed guards, they kind of get limp after a while. And he's taking like a collar for a jig skirt and putting it around the end of it so it stays it a lot tighter. But so that's the thing. yeah, so I don't know. It was a pretty cool deal. But
That's
all
cool.
right, fellas. Does anybody else have any questions before we hop off here? Nick, give us a question, buddy. You got a burning question in your mind. I know we'll end with your question.
Well, I don't know. I don't really have a good question, but all right. What's about the best place to fish around here in the tri-state
For
area
some reason, I
without
can't
having
hear
to
him at
drive to
all.
like Cumberland or somewhere like that?
All right. So his question is, or in our area, the tri-state area, what's about the best place to fish? And man, I don't. So
Man.
for me, it's really tough. I think that you have the best opportunity to catch a decent sized fish at Lake X or Lake V. Nah, I'll make some people mad, but Lake Vesuvius, I think you gotta have the opportunity to catch a slam and hammer in there. But as far as catching the most fish, you may not catch keepers all the time. I feel like you can go to Grayson and catch fish every day. What do you think, Mark? Where are you down around your around? So you're around Cincinnati, right?
The Ohio River. I mean, who wouldn't want to fish the Ohio River?
Come on, dude. We're all friends here. You ain't gotta lie to us.
Oh man, the best place around here, you're gonna have to drive. I'd say Brookville. Have to go to Brookville, Indiana. It's a good fishery. I mean, it fishes good, and fish is pretty small for kind of how big it is, really.
So that's where I actually bought my boat from, was Brookville.
Really?
I met a guy there and tried. Yes, it's about 2.5 hours from my house. Went there and tried it out. Got a couple questions here. Let's see. Pulling Lip says drop shot, wacky, swim bait. I think those are things that he thinks doesn't work. If you could pick one crankbait collar, or if you could pick one crankbait only, what would it be? Easy for me, 1.5. What do you think, Nick?
Probably a DT6, like a Pro Blue color or something like that.
Dig it. What do you think, Mark?
I don't know. I hate crankbaits. I tell you what, I'll show you right here. This is like a 5XD or something. Rock crawler. That's the only one I'll throw it. Dale Hollow. That's a Dale Hollow. I mean, like
Gotcha.
I said, like 5 times and I put it down. So
100%. So what do you think, Nate?
I just don't have no confidence.
I usually go with like a wiggle wart, probably in a phantom green or a red.
Okay, I can dig that, Josh.
I'm about to go 1.5 and a small draw killer. We know what color that is, but yeah, definitely that one. I mean, that's one that I built confidence with. Or I don't know, the sexy shad.
Yeah.
Is pretty good, like a DT6 or DT10, something like that.
Yeah. What do you think there, Brandon?
I'm gonna go with the 1.5. I've actually got one hanging on the wall. My favorite one.
He's gonna show us his favorite one. We're getting serious.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's the same color that Mark had there.
That's my favorite color.
Yeah. So anyway, I actually cut some people off there thinking about the question. So let's go ahead and go back to next question there about favorite place to fish around here. We heard what Mark said. He said Ohio River. So unmute Nate. Go ahead, Nate. What do you think?
I'm probably gonna go with my little secret creek down there towards Lexington.
Dude, I'm going to go down there with you whether you like it or not. I'm just going to have it.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Josh?
Areas people can fish.
I'm scared to put a boat in there.
Yeah.
Well, due to being less than 5 minutes away, I'm going with Lake X with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
literally, I could put a gallon of gas and go back and forth 4 times there. So, you know,
don't put a gallon of gas in your diesel truck, man. You'll never
well,
make
you know what I mean. I put a gallon of diesel and go back and forth. Well, I'm probably more than that.
Oh yeah, for
5
sure.
times.
Because it's at least downhill one way.
Oh yeah, you just got to climb it one way up.
Yeah. So where are you going, Brandon? If you could choose a place to fish around there, where would you go?
It probably wouldn't be Yatesville, just to be honest with you. Me and that lake haven't had very good. We're not on very good terms, but I'd probably say Grayson. Like you said, you know, you always catch a lot of fish at Grayson. They might not be keepers, but you know, there's been some good fish caught out of that lake, and I've been with some people and caught some good ones out of that lake, so I know that they're.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Grayson has the opportunity. So I know it has the opportunity to put out a 20-pound bag because I caught one in Kyle. Let's see. Richard McGuire says, when's Kyle going to be on? Man, I'll try to get him on next week. I love seeing him. He usually comes on about once or twice a year. Kyle's one of those guys that talks softly and carries a big stick. He doesn't like being on stuff like this, but I'll try to get him on next week. Richard McGuire says, Cumberland. Whittick says the Ohio River. He smashes them on the Ohio River. So I do think you have the opportunity to catch fish on the Ohio River at any given time. They may not be hammered, but you're gonna catch some. I think you just gotta know where to go.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being part of On Another Line this evening. I do want to make a quick reminder that the Tackle Box Open House will be next, not this Saturday, Sunday, not the 5th and 6th. It's going to be the 13th and 14th, which is going to be Saturday, Sunday. But if you don't want to brave the crowds and you don't want to come there and risk, catching COVID, God forbid. I actually had it 2 weeks ago. Wasn't fun. But actually for 2 weeks there, I was live last week, pretty much over it. But anyway, the 13th and 14th, we will be at the Tackle Box. I will be there live both days. Nate's going to be there on Saturday. Eric will be there. Probably see Casey Kelly running around, Chase Sansom. Of course, you're going to see the man, the myth, the legend, Greg Drown. You're probably going to see the hammer that is Chris Malone. You're going to see a lot of local guys that actually can absolutely hammer and catch them. But we'll be there both days on Saturday and Sunday. If you guys want to come out and check us out, definitely do so. Great deals on a lot of rods and reels. They are not doing the reel spooling this year, just for the simple fact, trying to cut down on the amount of crowd that's coming there to keep everybody safe. There will not be refreshments as well either, again, because you can't share food and anything like that. It's just to keep you safe. But we'll be there both days. But if you don't want to come and brave the crowd, which is there's normally about 1,000 people through the door in 2 days at the Tackle Box, which is unheard of. But if you want to come up and get a hold of some of the great deals that they have, they do have them there all that week. So they'll be starting on, let me make sure I have this right. So the 13th and 14th is the actual open house. So the 15th, and I assume that following weekend will be there as well. They usually have great deals on Yamamoto baits, Zoom, again, usually 10% off all rods that are not already marked down. Really great deals on line and reels and a bunch of different stuff. And they do have the ability to spool some line there for you should you need to get some line, but it's not going to do that 1 penny per yard stuff that they do. So anyway, Nick, Mark, Nate, Josh, Brandon, thank you guys for joining in this week on Another Line Live. I appreciate it very much. So if you guys can, definitely do so. Get out there and lean on them, and go over there and vote for my video on Yolatech's Facebook page if you want to care. I appreciate it. So guys, see you all. Thank you guys for joining in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys. We'll have you on again, I'm sure.